Committee on Foreign Affairs will come to order. Committee will now begin consideration of H.R. 4821, Combating the Persecution of Christians in China Act. Pursuant to notice for purpose of the markup, calling up 4821. Clerk will report the bill.
H.R. 4821, to hold accountable senior officials.
Without objection, the first reading of the bill is dispensed with. The bill shall be considered as read and open to amendment at any point. Without objection, the Meeks amendment in the nature of a substitute circulating to members shall be considered as read and will be treated as original text for purposes of amendment. This time I recognize myself to speak briefly on the measure. This committee has a long history of standing up for human rights. In China, we've seen a pattern of human rights violations for years. The same government that is systematically orchestrating a campaign of genocide against the Uyghur people are simultaneously stifling the religious freedom of adherents of a variety of religious faiths. We've seen a crackdown on religious activities that are not only protracted under international law, but guaranteed in the PRC's own constitution. PRC's officials have taken steps to align the 5 officially recognized religions with core CCP ideology and values in an attempt to exert greater ideological control over religion and restrict activities and beliefs that the CCP perceive as threatening to its rule. PRC officials have removed religious iconography and symbols, placed religious images with Chinese leaders, demolished places of worship, and rewritten religious texts. Such suppression and hostility against those observing their fundamental freedom to practice their religion is unacceptable. Nobody should be forced to endure discrimination because of their religion anywhere on this planet. That's why I'm proud to support this legislation. I appreciate the bill's offer, supported by ANS, as the bill as originally drafted focused on violations of religious freedom of Christians, which the Congress should certainly call out. At the same time, we see the PRC not just restricting religious freedom of Christians, but of Buddhists and Muslims, those belonging to other faiths. We must also make our concerns on those restrictions known as well. This important legislation reaffirms congressional support to the administration to use the tools it needs to hold government officials responsible for the gross human abuse and severe violations of religious freedom accountable. The measure also affirms U.S. policy to support efforts to protect and promote international religious freedom in China and to protect religious minorities in China. So I strongly encourage all members of the committee to support this important measure and stand up for human rights and fundamental freedoms in China. Do any of the members wish to speak on the measure? Hearing no further requests, let's move on to amendments. What purposes does the representative from Florida, Mr. Mass, seek recognition?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk, number 079.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
Point of order is reserved. 78. Mr. Mass, with that amendment number 78. Mr. Mass.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
This amendment number 78.
It showed 79 on my paper, but if it shows 78 on yours, I'll take it.
Clerk will distribute the amendment. Will receive the copy of the amendment. Clerk will please the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, it's a little bit hard to hear you. Is it possible to adjust your microphone?
Try.
Yeah, do you have any idea why someone from France is calling me?
Now? Can you hear me now?
Not too, I don't know if it's just me, but it's just a little bit quiet.
All right, the technician is coming in.
We can hear Mr. Cicilline quite well.
It's lower than normal.
Okay. I'll yell until the technician comes in. Gotta move. Clerk, please report the amendment.
Vast Amendment number 78 to the amendment in the nature of a substitute.
Without objection, further reading of the amendment will be dispensed with, and a point of order is reserved. The representative from Florida is now, Mr. Mass is now recognized for 5 minutes in support of his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A similar amendment as ones I've offered in previous markups and previously in this markup as well, just simply to take any reference of funds and make sure that it's a variation of taxpayer funds. Again, just reminding us of whose dollars it is that we're spending, those that are headed out to work this morning. I made the point previously in this markup yesterday, since our last markup, we are an additional $500 billion further into debt than we were in a markup just a few months ago. It is important that we make this recognition of where these dollars come from, not take it for granted. And as I said earlier, really beg the question of where is that tripwire as a nation, that we hit that tripwire and say, yeah, you can't send dollars to other countries, right? Is it $31 trillion? Is it 32 trillion? Is it 35 trillion? Is it 40 trillion dollars? At what point do we hit that tripwire and say, yeah, we can't send dollars over to these other nations from people in our country? It's time to pay attention, really more specifically, regardless of what percentage of our budget it might be, or what bills we might co-sponsor or other things. When do we hit that tripwire? And as the members of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I think it's important that we make steps to start looking at that and addressing that in our specific lane. In that, I appreciate the time, and I yield the remainder.
Gentleman yields back. I oppose this amendment, as I have the previous times that Mr. Mass has offered similar language in previous markups. Mr. Mass' amendment attempts to insert unhelpful language that is already implied by the nature of how our government works. The bill brings the unique tools of the U.S. government to support victims of religious persecution in China and bring accountability and justice to those who execute it. The amendment detracts from critical support the United States will provide victims of religious persecution in China and waste committee time and thus taxpayer dollars. And that would be better spent engaging on substantive business that both sides of the aisle agree contributes to improving U.S. foreign policy. Is there any further debate on the amendment?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Connolly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, while I appreciate Mr. Mass' perspective, we're not the Let's Retreat from the World Committee. We are the Foreign Affairs Committee. We are the committee that is the spearhead for the Congress in helping define U.S. engagement around the world. Whether we like it or not, we are the essential nation. We, through this engagement, through these investments, we engage in peacekeeping, we engage in diplomacy, we engage in humanitarian assistance that saves lives. The United States no longer has the nice option of just retreating from the world and pulling up the drawbridges. And I just think this is really not so much, a technical amendment. It's really a worldview amendment. I have the exact opposite worldview from Mr. Mass, respectfully, in terms of where the United States needs to be and what our responsibilities are. I join you in opposing the amendment.
Would the gentleman care to yield?
Sure.
I appreciate the gentleman's perspective. I don't think our perspectives are that different. I think you probably do have a respect for where the dollars come from. I'm just looking to insert where those dollars come from. And my intent is not to say, a retreat from the world by any means. I recognize exactly what you're saying with the nature of our committee and the diplomacy efforts that go on around the globe that we should be proud of, the humanitarian efforts around the globe that we should be proud of. My point is simply, we should be begging these questions as that committee of where those tripwires are, because there's not another committee that's going to beg those questions for us. I thank the gentleman for yielding.
I yield back.
Mr. Conley yields back. Is there any further debate on the amendment? Hearing no further request to speak, the question is on the master amendment number 78. We're going to take a vote by voice. All members unmute your microphones. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, no.
No.
Nope.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it, and the amendment is not agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. For what purpose does the representative from Pennsylvania, Mr. Perry, seek recognition?
Hey, Mr. Chairman, this is Congressman Stubbe on behalf of Mr. Perry. I'm going to present Perry Amendment 508.
Perry Amendment
Mr.
5.
Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
The point of order is reserved. The clerk should distribute the amendment. So everyone has received a copy of the amendment. The clerk will please report the amendment.
Carry amendment number 508 to the amendment in the nature.
Without objection, further reading of the amendment will be dispensed with. Mr. Stubbe is now recognized to speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since its inception 100 years ago, the Chinese Communist Party has dedicated itself to the promotion of a murderous cultural Marxism that has contributed to the deaths of tens of millions of innocent people. While the Falun Gong grew organically in China and achieved widespread popularity throughout the 90s, reaching approximately 100 million adherents, the People's Republic of China soon began to view the intense popularity of this non-party movement as a threat to their control of the country. In 1999, the CCP began a generation-long persecution of the Falun Gong that continues today. A striking and grotesque characteristic of the persecution of the Falun Gong remains the involuntary extraction of organs and bodily tissue from imprisoned practitioners for transplant. While ample evidence indicates the obvious reality of Falun Gong persecution, the United States has not yet dedicated itself to specifically penalizing those responsible. This amendment would impose asset blocking and visa prohibitions on Chinese persons the president determines to have directly or indirectly engaged in the involuntary harvesting of organs within the People's Republic of China. It uses traditional sanctions authorities to target and punish those responsible for the persecution of the Falun Gong. Within the unsurpassed cruelty of the CCP's regime, the treatment of Falun Gong practitioners must rank among the worst. Most debased demonstrations of evil to ever be coordinated by a government against a particular group of people. This particularly shocking lack of regard for the human person must be confronted. It must end. This amendment would ensure accountability, which is what's lacking in this ANS. There is no punitive measure aside from a statement of policy that, quote, considers the application of sanctions. We can and must do more than that. This amendment would also apply asset blocking and visa restrictions on those officials who have committed gross violations of internationally recognized human rights and particularly severe violations of religious freedom. Not only does this provision codify accountability for the persecution of Christians in China, it would also offer support for other religious groups, including Uyghurs. While there is not always agreement with respect to amendments submitted for this committee's consideration, I am cautiously optimistic that no one here would consider undermining the incredible work our nation has done to call out and obstruct the massive human rights abuses occurring in China, to include the commissioning of genocide. It would be extraordinarily foolish to tell the Chinese that we consider their treatment of the Uyghurs and other groups, to include Uzbeks and Kazakhs, as nothing short of genocidal, but to stop short of enforcing real consequences over the CCP's genocidal activities. While the genocide games are underway, it would send exactly the wrong message to General Secretary that he and his fellow comrades can simply wash over the rules-based international order of our country has spent decades maintaining. To ensure accountability for egregious violations of international human rights, I urge adoption of this amendment and yield the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields the balance of his time.
Chairman, I don't know if Representative Cicilline was going to argue the point of order. If not, I'll argue it.
Go forward. Mr. Castro is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to be heard on it. And Mr. Chairman, Amendment 508 violates House Rule Acts because it clearly is outside the jurisdiction of the committee. Visa sanctions are within the purview of the Judiciary Committee. And this amendment is also non-germane because the underlying bill is limited to, quote, religious matters abroad. The amendment goes far beyond that scope and introduces a matter not found in the underlying bill. I yield back.
I'm prepared to vote on the point of order. This amendment is not within Rule 10 jurisdiction of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We have confirmed with the parliamentarian that visa sanctions that reference the Immigration and Nationality Act are firmly within the jurisdiction of the Judiciary Committee. As such, we cannot consider this amendment as parts of it are entirely outside of our jurisdiction. Are there other amendments?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk, Perry Amendment 509.
Clerk shall distribute the amendment.
I reserve a point of order, Chairman.
Point of order is reserved. So if everyone has a copy of the amendment, the clerk will please report the amendment.
Perry Amendment number 509 to the amendment in the nature of a
Without objection, further reading of the amendment will be dispensed with, and a point of order is reserved. Representative Stubbe is now recognized for 5 minutes in support of his amendment, of Mr. Perry's amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The United States has long since acknowledged the evil undergirding the PRC's treatment of its own citizens. Mr. Perry has met with individuals from Tibet, East Turkestan, and Inner Mongolia who have told him firsthand their horrific, stomach-turning experiences under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party. We simply cannot afford to be complacent while millions in China continue to suffer and die. Again, we know how decrepit the CCP really is. Even when we foolishly gave China permanent normal trade relations in 2000, we were more than aware of their deliberate mistreatment of religious minorities, which is why the Congress simultaneously created the Congressional Executive Commission on China. However, it's not enough that the United States confronts the PRC for its abuses against anyone who doesn't toe the party line. We must enlist the help of the wider international community to help apply needed pressure. This amendment simply offers a sense of Congress that the United Nations Human Rights Council should issue a formal condemnation of the People's Republic of China for the ongoing genocide in East Turkestan, as well as for its persecution of Christians, Falun Gong, and other religious groups. Israel has been condemned by the Human Rights Council nearly 100 times since 2006, while the People's Republic of China has never received a comparable condemnation, or any condemnation at all from the Council. We cannot afford to work at cross purposes with the United Nations. The UN ought to be our natural ally in exposing the genocidal horror occurring in the PRC. As my colleagues consider this amendment for adoption, I do wish to bring up a few points that might interest them. First, intentionally including the name of East Turkestan in the legislation. While I acknowledge that East Turkestan does not even necessarily share the same territorial boundaries with what the PRC refers to as Xinjiang province, or that East Turkestan is not considered as a country, but any other sovereign state, the CCP continues to work to eliminate any vestige of the Uyghur population in the region. Right now, the PRC government is incentivizing Han Chinese to move into Xinjiang and eventually outnumber the local population. And their plan is working. Many Uyghurs can only stand by as the PRC is destroying any notion they have of a home. Using the name of East Turkestan is intended to demonstrate solidarity with the Uyghur people and the commitment of the United States to their cause. As a second point, and while I do not agree with this at all, I understand that my Democratic colleagues are sometimes weary of calling for the condemnation of the CCP because it may undermine efforts to address climate change. From my perspective, at least, it's important that we do not allow other nations to dictate our foreign policy. If China does not wish to risk condemnation for its atrocities, they should consider stopping their atrocities. It's really that simple. China's behavior risks marginalizing the rules-based international order, and that deserves our full attention and commitment to readdressing. I hope this amendment receives bipartisan support, and I yield back my time.
Gentleman yields back his time.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment to the Perry Amendment at the desk.
Clerk shall distribute the amendment. Has everyone received a copy of the amendment? Clerk will please report the amendment.
Castro Amendment number 1 to Perry Amendment number 509 to the amendment in the nature of a substitute to
Without objection, further reading of the amendment will be dispensed with. And the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Castro, is recognized to speak on the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I'm offering the second degree amendment because Mr. Perry's amendment incorrectly labels Xinjiang as East Turkestan, which is inconsistent with United States policy. It's important that we do not use terms that have no basis in U.S. law or diplomacy, and that we also recognize that the People's Republic of China's ongoing genocide is not just limited to one region. While the worst of the crimes are being committed in Xinjiang, this persecution takes place across the PRC and sometimes outside China, where we know of numerous instances of members of the Uyghur community being coerced, kidnapped, or forcibly returned to China to face punishment. The language I'm offering through this amendment is used by the Biden administration, the previous administration, and the bipartisan resolution authored by Ranking Member McCall that the House of Representatives voted on to recognize the genocide. Therefore, I support the secondary amendment to strike East Turkestan and replace it with, quote, against Uyghurs and other religious and ethnic minority groups, unquote, and urge my colleagues to do the same. I yield back, Chairman.
The gentleman yields back, and I support this secondary amendment. Mr. Perry's amendment incorrectly calls Xinjiang East Turkestan, which is inconsistent with U.S. policy. Saying East Turkestan would imply congressional support for a separatist movement in the Uyghur region and could become fodder for the PRC's propaganda justifying its actions in Xinjiang. Moreover, Mr. Perry's amendment misspells East Turkestan. Therefore, I support this secondary amendment to change East Turkestan to the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Is there any further debate on the amendment? Hearing no further request to speak, the question is on the Castro Amendment number 1 to the Perry Amendment designated number 509. We're going to take a vote by voice. All members, please unmute your microphones. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say no.
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 In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Is there any further debate on the Perry Amendment designated 509 as amended? Hearing no further request to speak, the question is on the Perry Amendment designated 509 as amended. We're going to take a vote by voice. And all members, again, unmute your microphone. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The committee will now resume consideration of amendments to H.Res 907, the measure on which roll call votes were requested and postponed. The question is on the Perry Amendment designated 510. Recorded vote is ordered. The clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Sherman. Don't see Representative Sherman. Representative Sears.
No.
Representative Sears votes no. Representative Connolly.
No.
Representative Connolly votes no. I don't see Representative Deutsch. I don't see Representative Bass. Representative Keating.
No.
Representative Keating votes no. Representative Cicilline.
No.
Representative Cicilline votes no. I don't see Representative Vera. Representative Castro.
No.
Representative Castro votes no. I don't see Representative Titus. Representative Blue.
No.
Representative Blue votes no. Representative Wild.
Wild votes no.
Representative Wild votes no. Representative Phillips.
No.
Which bill is this?
No.
Rest.
I don't see Representative Omar. Representative Allred.
No.
Representative Allred votes no. I don't see Representative Levin. Representative Spanberger.
No.
Representative Spanberger votes no. Representative Houlihan.
No.
Representative Houlihan votes no. Representative Malinowski.
No.
Representative Malinowski votes no. Representative Andy Kim.
No.
Representative Andy Kim votes no. Representative Jacobs.
No.
Representative Jacobs votes no. Representative Manning.
No.
Representative Manning votes no. I don't see Representative Costa. Representative Vargas.
No.
Representative Vargas votes no. I don't see Representative Gonzalez. Representative Schneider.
No.
Representative Schneider votes no. Ranking Member McCall.
Okay, thank you.
Ranking Member McCall. I'll come back to Ranking Member McCall. I don't see Representative Smith. Representative Shabbat.
Wait, I'm here.
Oh, I see you now, sir. How do you vote?
No.
Representative
You
Smith.
had one job.
Shabbat.
No.
Representative Shabbat votes no. I don't see Representative Wilson. I don't see Representative Perry. Representative Issa.
No.
Representative Issa votes no. I don't see Representative Kinzinger. Representative Zeldin.
No.
Representative Zeldin votes no. Representative Wagner.
No.
Representative Wagner votes no. Representative Mass.
No.
Representative Mass votes no. I don't see Representative Fitzpatrick. I don't see Representative Buck. Representative Burchett. Not hearing from Representative Burchett. Representative Green.
No.
Representative Green votes no. Representative Barr.
No.
Representative,
Here. Burchett is here.
Representative Burchett, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Burchett votes no. Representative Stubbe.
Yes.
Representative Stubbe votes aye. Representative Muser.
No.
Representative Muser votes no. Representative Tenney.
No.
Representative Tenney votes no. I don't see Representative Pfluger. I don't see Representative Melitakis. Representative Meyer.
Pfluger's here. Meyer votes no.
Representative Meyer votes no. Representative Pfluger, how do you vote?
1980s, what was going on with Reagan.
Representative Pfluger.
Anyway, I'm just.
Pfluger, no.
Representative Pfluger votes no. Representative Jackson. Don't see Representative Jackson anymore. I don't see Representative Young Kim.
Well, Representative Young Kim is here. Representative Young Kim votes no.
Representative Young Kim votes no. I don't see Representative Salazar, Mr. Chairman.
No.
Chairman votes no.
Hi, this is Representative Barra. How do you have me recorded?
Vote for you, Representative Barra. How do you vote?
I don't know.
This is Representative Sherman.
Representative Sherman.
I'm just a clerk and
Please record me as a no.
Representative Sherman votes no.
Representative Mast wishes to change to yes.
fucker.
How is Representative Fitzpatrick recorded?
For you, sir, how would you like to vote?
Fitzpatrick votes no.
Representative Fitzpatrick votes no.
Mr. Chairman, how am I recorded?
Representative Deutsch, I do not have a vote for you, sir.
No.
Representative Deutsch votes no.
Have all members been recorded? The clerk will report the tally.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I got left out. How am I recorded? I know I'm not recorded.
I do not have a vote for you, sir.
I would like to vote no because I support democracy programs.
Ranking Member McCall votes no.
Clerk will report the tally.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 36 noes and 2 ayes.
And the amendment is not agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The question is now to report H.Res. 907 with the recommendation that the resolution be adopted. We're again going to take a vote by voice. All members unmute your microphones. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All,
Aye.
all opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Without objection, staff is authorized to make any technical and conforming changes. The committee now will resume consideration of the amendments to H.R. 6552, the measure on which roll call votes were requested and postponed. The question is on Perry Amendment designated 517. A recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will please call the roll.
Representative Sherman.
No.
Representative Sherman votes no. Representative Sears.
No.
Representative Sears votes no. Representative Connolly.
No.
Representative Connolly votes no. Representative Deutsch.
No.
Representative Deutsch votes no. I don't see Representative Bass. Representative Keating.
No.
Representative Keating votes no. Representative Cicilline.
No.
Representative Cicilline votes no. Representative Barra.
No.
Representative Barra votes no. Representative Castro.
No.
Representative Castro votes no. I don't see Representative Titus. Representative Liu.
No.
Representative Liu votes no. Representative Wild.
No.
Representative Wild votes no. Representative Phillips.
No.
Representative Phillips votes no. I don't see Representative Omar. Representative Allred.
No.
Representative Allred votes no. I don't see Representative Levin. Representative Spanberger.
No.
Representative Spanberger votes no. Representative Houlihan.
No.
Representative Houlihan votes no. Representative Malinowski.
No.
Representative Malinowski votes no. Representative Andy Kim.
No.
Representative Andy Kim votes no. Representative Jacobs.
No.
Representative Jacobs votes no. Representative Manning.
No.
Representative Manning votes no. I don't see Representative Costa. Representative Vargas.
No.
Representative Vargas votes
Did
no.
you get?
Representative Gonzalez. Representative Schneider.
No.
Representative Schneider votes no. Ranking member,
Aye.
Ranking member McCall votes aye. Representative Smith
Aye.
Here, you get my shirts.
votes aye. Representative Shabbat.
Aye.
Representative Shabbat votes aye. I don't see Representative Wilson. I don't see Representative Perry. Representative Issa.
Aye.
Representative Issa votes aye. I don't see Representative Kinzinger. Representative Zeldin.
Aye.
Representative Zeldin votes aye. Representative Wagner.
Wagner, aye.
Representative Wagner votes aye. Representative Mast. We'll come back to Representative Mast. Representative Fitzpatrick.
Patrick votes aye.
Representative Fitzpatrick votes aye. I don't see Representative Buck. Representative Burchett.
Aye.
Representative Burchett votes aye. Representative Green.
Green votes aye.
Representative Green votes aye. Representative Barr. Representative Barr, I saw you mouth a word, but I could not hear you. Could you do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, please? Representative Barr is doing a thumbs up. He votes aye. Representative Stubbe.
Yes.
Representative Stubbe votes aye. Representative Muser.
Aye.
Representative Muser votes aye. Representative Tenney.
Aye.
Representative Tenney votes aye. Representative Pfluger.
Aye. Pfluger votes aye.
Aye. I don't see Representative Maliatakis. Representative Meyer.
Aye.
Representative Meyer votes aye. Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson votes aye.
Representative Jackson votes aye. I don't see Representative Young Kim. I don't see Representative Salazar. Mr.
No. Representative Young Kim is here.
Representative,
Representative Young Kim votes aye.
Representative Young Kim votes aye. Mr. Chairman, how do you vote?
No.
Chairman votes no.
Go back to Mr. Bass.
Representative Mast.
Have all members been recorded? The clerk will report the tally.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 21 noes and 17 ayes.
Amendment is not agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The question now is on the Perry Amendment designated number 518. Recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will please call the roll.
Representative Sherman.
No.
Representative Sherman votes no. Representative Sears.
Nope.
Representative Sears votes no. Representative Connolly. Not hearing from Representative Connolly. Representative Deutsch. Don't see
No.
Representative Deutsch votes no. Don't see Representative Bass. Representative Keating.
No.
Representative Keating votes no. Representative Cicilline.
No.
Representative Cicilline votes no. Representative Barra.
No.
Representative Barra votes no. Representative Castro.
No.
Representative Castro votes no. I don't see Representative Titus. Representative Liu.
No.
Representative Liu votes no. Representative Wild.
No.
Representative Wild votes no. Representative Phillips.
No.
Representative Phillips votes no. I don't see Representative Omar. Representative Allred.
No.
Representative Allred votes no. I don't see Representative Levin. Representative Spanberger.
No.
Representative Spanberger votes no. Representative Houlihan.
No.
Representative Houlihan votes no. Representative Malinowski.
No.
Representative Malinowski votes no. Representative Andy Kim.
No.
Representative Andy Kim votes no. Representative Jacobs.
No.
Representative Jacobs votes no. Representative Manning.
No.
Representative Manning votes no. I don't see Representative Costa. Representative Vargas.
No.
Representative Vargas votes no. Representative Gonzalez is not here. Representative Schneider. Representative Schneider.
No.
Representative Schneider votes no. Ranking Member McCall.
I vote no because I'm against human trafficking.
Ranking Member McCall votes no. Representative Smith.
No.
Representative Smith votes no. Representative Shabbat.
No.
Representative Shabbat votes no. I don't see Representative Wilson. I don't see Representative Perry. Representative Issa.
No.
Representative Issa votes no. Representative Kinsey here. I don't see either. Representative Zeldin.
No.
Representative Zeldin votes no. Representative Wagner.
Wagner, no.
Representative Wagner votes no. Representative Mast. We'll come back to Mr. Mast. Representative Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick votes no.
Representative Fitzpatrick votes no. I don't see Representative Buck. Representative Burchett. I don't see Representative Burchett.
No.
Oh,
I'm here. You just don't hear me.
Representative Green.
Green is a no.
Representative Green votes no. Representative Barr.
He's sitting there with his Carhartt jacket.
Representative Barr, could you do a thumbs up or thumbs down for me? Representative Barr is doing a thumbs down. He votes no. Representative Stubbe.
No.
Representative Stubbe votes no.
Mast is a no.
Representative Muser.
Muser is a no.
Representative Muser votes no. Representative Mast, I saw you on mute. How do you vote, sir?
Mast is a no.
Representative Mast votes no. Representative Tenney.
No.
Representative Tenney votes no. Representative Pfluger.
No.
Representative Pfluger votes no. I don't see Representative Maliatakis.
I'm here. I vote no.
Representative Maliatakis votes no. Representative Meyer.
No.
Representative Meyer votes no. I don't see Representative Jackson.
I'm here. I think I'm on. My video shows it's on.
How do you vote, sir?
My vote is no.
Representative Jackson votes no. Representative Young Kim.
Representative Young Kim votes no.
Representative Young Kim votes no. I don't see Representative Salazar. Mr. Chairman, how do you vote?
No.
Chairman votes no.
Have all members been recorded?
Mr. Chairman, how am I recorded?
Representative Connolly, I do not have a vote for you, sir.
I vote no.
Representative Connolly votes no.
Clerk will report the tally.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 40 noes and 0 ayes.
The amendment is not agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The question is now to report H.R. 6552 with the recommendation that the bill do pass. Again, we're going to take a vote by voice. All members, unmute your microphones. And all those in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Without objection, staff is authorized to make any technical and conforming changes. The committee will now resume consideration of the amendments to H.Res. 896, the measure on which the roll call vote was requested and postponed. The question is on a Perry amendment designated number 511. Please call the roll.
Representative Sherman.
Is this on the bill itself or an amendment?
This is
Perry
on
amendment.
number 511 to H.Res. 896.
Yes.
Representative Sherman votes aye. Representative Sears.
Is this a Perry amendment?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not voting for that.
Representative Sears votes no. Representative Connolly.
No.
Representative Connolly votes no. Representative Deutsch.
No.
Representative Deutsch votes no. I don't see Representative Bass. Representative Keating.
No.
Representative Keating votes no. Representative Cicilline.
No.
Representative Cicilline votes no. Representative Barra.
No.
Representative Barra votes no. Representative Castro.
No.
Representative Castro votes no. I don't see Representative Titus. Representative Blue.
No.
Blue votes no. Representative Wild.
No.
Representative Wild votes no. Representative Phillips.
No.
Representative Phillips votes no. I don't see Representative Omar. Representative Allred.
No.
Representative Allred votes no. I don't see Representative Levin. Representative Spanberger.
No.
Representative Spanberger votes no. Representative Houlihan.
No.
Representative Houlihan votes no. Representative Malinowski.
No.
Representative Malinowski votes no. Representative Andy Kim.
No.
Representative Andy Kim votes no. Representative Jacobs.
No.
Representative Jacobs votes no. Representative Manning. Representative Manning is doing a thumbs down. She votes no. I don't see Representative Costa. Representative Vargas.
No.
Representative Vargas votes no. I don't see Representative Gonzalez. Representative Schneider.
No.
Representative Schneider votes no.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can I vote?
Ranking Member McCall, how do you vote, sir?
I vote no.
Ranking Member McCall votes no. Representative Smith.
No.
Representative Smith votes no. Representative Shabbat.
No.
Representative Shabbat votes no. I don't see Representative Wilson. I don't see Representative Perry. Representative Issa.
No.
Representative Issa votes no. I don't see Representative Kinzinger. Representative Zeldin.
No.
Representative Zeldin votes no. Representative Wagner.
Wagner, no.
Representative Wagner votes no. Representative Mast. Representative Mast. Representative Fitzpatrick.
Patrick votes no.
Representative Fitzpatrick votes no. I don't see Representative Buck. Representative Burchett.
No.
Representative Burchett votes no. Representative Green.
No.
Representative Green votes no. Representative Barr.
So next is the question before H.R.
I don't see Representative Barr. Representative Stuvey.
Yes.
Representative Stuvey votes aye. Representative Muser.
Users, no.
Representative Muser votes no. Representative Tenney.
No.
Representative Tenney votes no. Representative Pfluger.
No.
Representative Pfluger votes no. Representative Maliatakis.
No.
Representative Maliatakis votes no. Representative Meyer.
No.
Representative Meyer votes no. Representative Jackson.
Representative Jackson votes no.
Representative Jackson votes no. Representative Young Kim.
Representative Young Kim votes no.
Representative Young Kim votes no. I don't see Representative Salazar. Mr. Chairman.
No.
Chairman votes no.
Mr. Chairman, how am I recorded?
Mr. Chairman, I have you as an aye.
Please change that to a no.
Mast votes no.
Votes no. Representative Mast, I do not have a vote for you, sir. How would you like to vote?
No.
Representative Mast votes no.
Mr. Chairman, was my vote changed to a no?
Yes, it was Representative Sherman. Representative Titus, I see your hand up.
Can you tell me how I'm recorded?
I do not have a vote for you, ma'am.
I vote no.
Representative Titus votes no.
The board member has been recorded. The clerk will report the tally.
Small group of a small bipartisan group that dealt with.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 39 noes and 1 aye.
And the amendment is not agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The question is to report H.Res. 896 with the recommendation that the resolution be adopted. We're going to take a vote by voice. All members, unmute your microphone. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. And without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Without objection, staff is authorized to make any technical and conforming changes.
Okay, let's, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
The question, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can wait till the vote.
I'm sorry, my staff jumped the gun, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
But I do have something to say when it's appropriate.
very good. The question is now on the Meeks amendment and the nature of a substitute. We're going to take a vote by voice.
Good job.
All members, please unmute your microphones. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. The question now is to report H.R. 4821, combating the persecution of Christians in China Act, as amended, with the recommendation that the bill do pass as amended. We're going to take a vote by voice. All members, please unmute your microphones. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, no.
To the extent that there are.
The ayes have it, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Without objection, to make any changes. Now, Mr. McCall. Mr. McCall is now recognized.
You guys are awesome. Mr. Chairman,
Awesome. Get off the phone.
am I recognized?
Yes, Mr. McCall, you're recognized.
Pursuant to House rules and committee rules, I request that members have the opportunity to submit their views on any committee reports filed on any of today's measures.
Without objection, on each measure ordered reported today, any amendment or amendments agreed to shall be reported as a single amendment in the nature of a substitute. This concludes our business today. We did this before the 9 o'clock deadline. And I want to thank Ranking Member McCall for his working with us collectively as always, and his staff, and all of the committee members for their contributions and assistance with this two-day markup. This markup is now adjourned.
Whoop.